Welcome to Conference Crunch on the 4 Star Sports Media Network. This fast-paced deep dive into college athletics covers it all. Now, your host, Wes Pruitt.
I'm a man! I'm 40!
Folks, to a special edition of Conference Crunch. We are live right now we're back on Facebook, by the way, folks. I'm glad we're back. How long has it been? I feel like it's been a year since we've been able to have access to this daggum thing now. But we are back. Welcome back. Facebook, YouTube, and 2 different pages on Twitter right now as well. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, 2026 NCAA bracket reveal. Watch along. Got it on 2 different screens going right now. Got it on the big screen because my blind ass can't see. And then I got it on my phone the way I can really see it. John, what's going on, man? Welcome in.
What a crazy last 2 days or 3 days or even 4 days for some people. Now they get to see. Are they going to stay close to home? Or are they going to be more complaining from west to east or east to west?
Oh, there's for sure going to be complaining. That's just kind of how it works. You have to complain. If you don't complain, it's not right. But I tell you, man, it's always very interesting with the NCAA tournament bracket when it comes out. It's very intriguing to me to see where these teams end up. Now, I figure, we saw Duke last night win the ACC championship. That's right, folks. Duke won the ACC championship in football, basketball, and women's basketball. First school to ever do that. But let's look at some scores from around the country today, John, as we kind of begin to fill in some brackets. We know who all of the automatic bids are, but let's look at some scores from today. One that stood out to me was out of the Ivy League, John, Penn. You could say stealing a bid from Yale. But what's your thoughts on, as we start there, what's your thoughts on Penn 88-84? Incredible basketball game. I tell you, if you don't watch the Ivy League, if you don't pay attention to it, which a lot of people don't, it's very intriguing. It's a very entertaining league year in, year out.
The opposition should have fouled when they were up by 3. With the 5 seconds to go in the game, they should have fouled. Then now it just kills momentum going to overtime. And Penn just took advantage of it. Why let a shot off like they did is beyond me. But overall, great game, great Ivy League. A conference that really doesn't have that much NIL and very well could surprise some people in that first round. Just the way they play the
What
basketball.
league, or does Yale still get in?
I think that was a 1-bid league. I really do.
Okay. Let's talk about a team that shouldn't have been where they were. Let's talk about VCU and Dayton, but let's go back a day. Dayton got a big win the day before as Dayton would knock off St. Louis 70-69. And at the end of that game, John, we plainly saw, when I say plainly, Ray Charles, Helen Keller, and Steve Wonder, all 3 were like, what the hell? The guy runs on the floor, hugs the player, coach runs on the floor, moves the player off the floor, and there's no technical foul called. So, John, I now come to you. What the hell is going on? Why was there not a technical called yesterday against Dayton? Now, they ended up losing today, 70-62. I don't think Dayton gets in. That's just my opinion, and we'll get to some bubble teams here in just a minute. But, John, what's your thoughts on that game yesterday? Dayton and St. Louis, as the Billikens fell late.
Yeah, now St. Louis just has to wait and wait and wait to see if they're actually in or not. To your point, where is the technical foul? It could have happened in the same situation where Duke played North Carolina at North Carolina this year, where North Carolina player stepped on the court and they didn't call it either. So the referees are surely missing a lot of stuff these days, from fouls to definitely technical fouls.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't miss a technical foul like that, man. Like that's just what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like what is I don't know, man. I just don't think you can do that. I just don't think you can miss a foul like that, and it be acceptable. I mean, that's just me. But we're live right now. Thank you to everybody watching and listening. 4 Star Sports Media. It's Conference Crunch. As we're live right now, you can read on the screen for those of you watching. 2026 NCAA Men's Bracket
East, by the way,
Reveal
East
Watch Along.
Region,
As
breaking news: East Region is just now starting. By the way, fans,
the what?
the East Region is just now starting. So breaking news there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got Duke number one. Not shocking there, right?
No,
Siena will be in Greenville, South Carolina to take on Duke, 23-11 on the season 16 seed.
phenomenal story for Siena. Siena basically just has a ton of guard play that can cause problems, but I do think Duke can very well win this one.
Thursday, Saturday, John, in Greenville, South Carolina, number 8 seed Ohio State, 21-12, will be taking on the Horned Frogs from TCU, 22-11. Very interesting 8-9 game there. Then you got Friday, John, St. John's. Rick Pitino, the Don of college football, college basketball, not the Don of college football. That's Tony Siracusa. But Rick Pitino, man, St. John's, they got a championship against UConn, John, and they're a 5 seed going against a 12. Now, we know this 5-12 matchup. These could be very interesting as they pull Northern Iowa 23-12 as those two teams will meet up in San Diego, California. What's your thoughts on that 8-9 real quick?
TCU, Jamie Dixon, heck of a coach. I think they can very well pull the upset over Ohio State. But the 12 seed that nobody wanted to see this year, Northern Iowa is one of them.
All right, then we got Kansas heading out to take on Cal Baptist, 25-8. Cal Baptist, Kansas, 23-10. As we move over as we continue the East region, number 6, Louisville comes in 23-10 Thursday in Buffalo. Thursday in Buffalo will take on the American champion South Florida, 25-8 on the year. South Florida got the big win today. Now they're taking on Louisville as an 11 seed. Thursday matchup, Buffalo, 3 seed, Michigan State will be taking on 25-7 on the year. 3 seed, Michigan State will be hosting North Dakota State, 22-7 on the year. John, we're moving quick. We're moving rapid here as we give live instant reactions to the NCAA tournament reveal. John, what's your thoughts so far? This has been very fast paced, right?
I love that matchup for South Florida guards to compete with Coach Kelsey's Louisville guards. For anybody that could very well see high scoring and you're in Buffalo, New York, I think this is your game right here.
Speaking of that, we got a UCLA 7 seed Friday, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, taking on the 10 seed Central Florida, 21-11, taking on UCLA out in Philly, the city of brotherly love, as they say. John, UConn, 2 seed. Ooh, man, what a East region. 2 seed, 29-5 for UConn. They're playing in Philadelphia, essentially a home game for them, kind of how I look at it. But the 15 seed, John, is Furman, 22-12 on the year, John, as we round out the East region. Wow. Interesting region. There's a lot of jam-packed teams in there. Wow. I guess my first question is, how will Kansas look? Which Kansas will we see? Because where they're sitting, they could very well meet up with a Duke team if Duke can get past Ohio State, TCU. So, John, as we talk about this East region before we move on to the next, Duke, Siena, we obviously think Duke would move on there. But then that 8-9 matchup, you talked about it. Ohio State, TCU. Very interesting matchup. Those 8-9s are always 50-50 whenever you're picking your bracket.
I know we got some future Hall favorites to this one, but wow.
And then, I mean, Mick Cronin is going to definitely complain about having to go all the way to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but he's got a tough matchup when he gets out there with Central Florida, John. And the winner, oh, by the way, get ready. You get probably UConn.
The two coaches that disguise referees the most in a possible second round matchup.
Yeah, and I tell you, John, let's just go real quick. Who may be on upset alert? I think my number one team on upset alert, the Louisville Cardinals. Got to look out for South Florida. The guard play for South Florida, Joseph Pinion, multiple other guards, but they got the big boy down low as well, Brian Nelson. He's got NBA scouts looking and talking to him as we speak, especially after a conference championship today. But interesting, man. What's your thoughts so far? I mean, obviously we're just getting started. I understand that, but wow, 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 wow.
I mean,
Okay,
I think UCF, depending on which UCF team shows up,
yeah,
this is a guard play that's been pretty well the last couple of games and did pretty well in the Big 12 tournament, or is it going to be the same team that kind of struggled in the middle pack of the Big 12 this year? That's an interesting game right off the bat for UCLA. It really is. UCF fought their way in, and they
it
definitely
really.
deserve to be in. So, interesting matchup first round for UCLA for sure.
I mean, so do you think we're looking at Bill Self versus Rick Pitino, second round, Kansas, St. John's? I mean, we're not giving picks, but you know what I mean.
I think it's very well possible. I think, like you brought up, is the same team regarding Kansas. Um, of course, you know they got a lottery pick on their roster, but is he going to give you a full 30 to 35 minutes of college basketball? Is the question.
I mean, has he done it all year?
No, not really. But I'm just talking about in general.
Well, then
Like
why would he start here?
it's going to be interesting how
I
these
mean,
players actually option in or option. I'm not saying they're going to option out, but what I mean by that are just going to
right.
see how many minutes they actually get to play in this tournament. Because let's be real, man, most of these lottery picks are probably not going to give you. They want to give you 100%, but will they give you 100%? You know, when they've been injured or sick or whatever they've been throughout the year.
Yep, exactly. All right, so let's go East Region, John. Who is number one upset alert for you? Just as we glance over the region, as we get started with live reaction, March Madness.
I just definitely think, like you brought up, it's Louisville and then UCLA. That's my second one. And it's not. I mean, it's like 1A, 1B kind of.
I think North Dakota State could sneak up on Michigan State. And that's just a kind of off the wall one. But I think North Dakota State, and I don't think they go any further. But I mean, I think North Dakota State could sneak up on Michigan State and Tom Izzo. Now you know they say January, February, and then they just call March Izzo because he's pretty damn good in March.
The second number one is Arizona. No surprise, really, as I enjoyed the desert over there on the West Coast. As they're playing in San Diego, California on a Friday Sunday matchup. Arizona's matching up with Long Island University, who is 24-10 on the year.
Yeah, Arizona's good, man. I mean, I've really been impressed with what they've been able to do this year. 32-2 on the year, ran through the Big 12, and the Big 12 is a conference that's not just, you know, the weakest when it comes to basketball. They were 8 seed Villanova, 24-8 on the year. Ooh, Utah State. Now that is a very interesting matchup. Utah State comes in 28-4 on the season. What's your thoughts on that, John?
Man, Mountain West champions definitely deserved a 9 seed. Underrated Mountain West, I believe, this year, where very well could have been anybody that could have won that one. Utah State is dangerous, but the good thing is they don't got to go travel too far.
Wisconsin comes in at a 5 seed, 24-10 on the year, taking on High Point. Very, very interesting matchup there. I'm actually gonna highlight you, John, and let you kind of break the bracket down for just a minute. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, High Point 12 seed. The 4 seed, the SEC champions, the Arkansas Razorbacks, traveling out to the West Coast in Portland, Oregon. Ooh, a very well interesting matchup with the Hawaii Rainbows as the 13 seed, who finished the year 24-8 in the regular season and the tournament play. So, an interesting matchup for John Calipari and the Hogs. Another Big 12 team where BYU is the 6th seed. These are still Thursday, Saturday matchups in Oregon, Portland, Oregon. They play the 11 seed in the play-in game. The Texas Longhorns, who a lot of people had in or out, playing in the playing game against North Carolina State and Will Wade. It'll be interesting how North Carolina State prepares for this game on a short notice, with maybe a coach, Will Wade, possibly going back to Baton Rouge, possibly, that we've been hearing on social media as of late. The 3 seed Gonzaga Bulldogs, man, Coach Hugh got him back in the tournament. Playing the 14 seed Kennesaw State, another team that won their conference tournament outright. And that very well could be a shocker to a lot of people for an upset. Now you got your Friday, Sunday matchups in St. Louis, Missouri. The 7 seed, the Miami, Florida Hurricanes, throw it to you, people. And you're traveling to St. Louis, Missouri. But it's going to be a home game because Missouri Tigers are the 10 seed in St. Louis, Missouri. The 2 seed, Purdue, Boilermakers, your Big Ten champions by beating Michigan today. And I really do think maybe that gives Michigan the other number 1 seed very well possible. And now they got to play Queens University, a team that won their conference tournament. And, man, the bottom half of this bracket with BYU, Gonzaga, A&M, NC State, Miami, Missouri, Purdue, and Queens. Upset alert. Right now I'm calling, I could very well see Missouri, Coach Gates pulling up and beating the Miami Hurricanes, man.
Took the words right away from me right there, man. And, John, we have our first play-in game. Texas, NC State. That's an interesting matchup right there. We know Will Wade knows how to get his team motivated for March.
Man, a macroable comeback for High Point this season. 30 wins. When was the last time we saw High Point win 30 wins? Man, I enjoyed watching that Hawaii team yesterday, but I don't know if they can beat Arkansas. The way that Billy Richmond and DJ Wagner, and then, of course, the phenomenal freshman over at Arkansas.
But, I mean, then you throw in Trevin Brazile. Trevin Brazile continues to play the way he did today. Arkansas could be looking at a very deep run. And we'll go back and look at their path.
Man, I was afraid that Missouri would be in St. Louis, to be honest with you. And I think they definitely – I thought Missouri would maybe very well could be in that playing game, to be honest with you.
That's a literal home game for Missouri. That's a
Yeah.
long way to travel for Miami. They just go right down the road. Is
They're
this
very well
bracket
possible
tougher
matchup with Purdue.
than the first bracket?
The first bracket, I think, is tougher by like a small margin, just because some of these games on the second region or in the West region, are entertaining for the least, but you might not see that many upsets per se. I mean, I think Kennesaw State can give Gonzaga a good first half, but is it going to be because Gonzaga is favored by 18 and a half coming into this game? But yeah, I think Kennesaw State can give them a good first half, but the second half they just might get a little bit fatigued and then just run out of gas a little bit because I think Gonzaga can beat you with a 9-man rotation, where Kennesaw State at times does like an 8-man rotation as well.
What's your thoughts on the draw that Arizona got? You got Long Island, but then you got an 8-9 between Villanova and a very dangerous Utah State team.
What game is that? What game did you just say, Wes? I think Utah State.
Sorry, man. I got something on my mouse pad that didn't want to move. Yeah, that Utah State Villanova game, Arizona does not have an easy road to a Sweet 16.
No, it don't. But Utah State has been fun to watch, and Utah State is playing close to home. Utah State is actually favored by 1.5 coming in this game, so I think we could very well. I know Utah State has scored some points, but Villanova is the type of team where in the NCAA tournament, they very well could basically have a low pace game and be like a 70-69 type game, or even like a 65-63 type game. So we've seen Villanova before slow the ball down in the NCAA tournament.
That's a really good point. What about Wisconsin, man? I think they're a team that could give Arkansas trouble.
I mean, Wisconsin is just one of those teams, just like their football team. Are they going to be good? They're going to be average? Or are they just going to be bad in some games as well? Because Wisconsin, to me, has been up and down all year long.
By the way, we got some comments over on YouTube. G-Man Miller said UCF, UCF, UCF. Brad Gove said, yep, AZ. And he ain't talking about Arkansas. That, shockingly enough, John, a lot of people think AZ is Arkansas. It's not. It's Arizona. Appreciate everybody watching and listening. We got a nice little crowd right now watching and listening as we go through the bracket, as the brackets are unveiled live, as we do a watch along. How we do a watch along is we watch it along with you. We don't show it on screen. But so far, we're halfway down. Michigan is going to be your next number one.
And these games are also being played in Buffalo, New York, where they got the winner of the Howard matchup And then you got the next round right after that. You get the 8 seed.
Dangerous UMBC team right there. They can play.
I mean, man, Buffalo, New York. Get your tickets ready. Georgia Bulldogs, the 8 seed. Man, a lot of people question Georgia this year. They're going to be in and out also with that 23-10 record.
Oh wow. St. Louis and Georgia, John, that's going to be a battle.
Get your popcorn ready. Let's just say that. The 5 seed Texas Tech playing the 12 seed Akron out of the MAC in Tampa, Florida, by the way. Wow. The 4 seed
Is
Alabama
Akron
Crimson.
the only team from the MAC in the tournament? Did they get one bid?
I don't know, man. And a lot of people are saying, is Tennessee going to go out west? Are they going to go out to the East Coast? Nope, they're going to the East Coast and playing Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and facing the 11th seed, the Miami, Ohio, is in the tournament after all. So 2 MAC teams have made a tournament. Tennessee's the 6th seed, playing the 11th seed. The Miami, Ohio, or SMU winner. Man, that Miami, Ohio, and SMU
Wow.
game will be fun to watch in Dayton.
That game is going to be an absolute blast to watch. Wow.
And then you got your runner-up ACC team in Virginia, the 3 seed, playing the 14 seed Wright State. And then you get the 7 seed, the Kentucky Wildcats, as the 7 seed in St. Louis, Missouri as well. Playing a team that very well could sneak somebody and pull the upset in the first round in Santa Clara. I love that matchup for Santa Clara. Santa Clara has been fun to watch too this year.
Couldn't agree more. If you're a Kentucky fan right now, your ass is shaking.
Okay, I disagree on that 15 seed for Tennessee State playing the 2 seed Iowa State. I think Tennessee State very well should have been like a 14 seed. I know there's no really no difference between the two, but I think Tennessee State should get that 14 seed.
Speaking of Tennessee State, man, got to give a shout out to my guy Mike Patton, Mr. Nashville is what I call him. But
Right.
we got a great article out right now on Tennessee State, Nolan Smith, and if Tennessee State can hold on to Nolan Smith, hey John, let me just say this: don't sleep on Tennessee State at Iowa State. Now I know Iowa State plays really good basketball, but Tennessee State they got some fight to them now. All right, man. Let's take a look at it. Wow, wow, John. Okay, so we just thought the other couple of brackets were going to be, tough. Holy crap! All right, so Georgia, St. Louis. Let me just start there. If you're Michigan, I'm upset right now. I've got the worst run of everybody that I've seen thus far. Now, we only got one more region to go. This is the Midwest region, by the way. Buffalo, St. Louis, Tampa, Philadelphia are your 4 cities. But, man, Texas Tech, Akron, I think Texas Tech probably gets the win there. Virginia, Wright State. Is that not where what's his name came from? Wasn't he at Wright State?
Let me
Maybe
double
not.
check.
Odom, Ryan Odom, maybe not. But I'm telling you, man, that Miami of Ohio SMU matchup is one to keep an eye on, and it's one that's going to be incredible to watch in the first four. Um, I used to not like the first four, man, but if they keep putting matchups like this together, I'm going to start really enjoying it. Now, let's not go crazy and put 90 teams in this damn thing, but 68's all right for me right now.
Yeah, I definitely think Tennessee on whoever they play rather than this Miami, Ohio, or SMU. Right now, I'm going to give the edge to SMU just because I feel like they've been playing a better strength of schedule and better conference in the ACC, of course, right? But SMU, Coach Enfield and company, man, SMU, Tennessee does not want to see SMU. The team that
Give
a
me
lot of
Miami of
people had,
Ohio. I'll call Shocker right now. Give me Miami of Ohio, and give me Miami of Ohio to give Tennessee all they want, and maybe even sneak by the
mm,
Volunteers. I'll tell you right now. Today's what, the 15th? Telling you, man, this tournament's gonna be a lot of fun.
I just like SMU.
So
Not going to do my
we've
prediction.
just about filled out the first four. So we've got UMBC and Howard in the Midwest region. We've got Texas, NC State out west. We've got Miami of Ohio, SMU, and then we wait to fill out the last 16 seeds. Speaking of the first four, what's been your thoughts so far on the first four throughout the years that they've been doing it? And is it something that you would like to see them continue?
To continue, yes. I mean, the only thing is, how many get like 1 day to prepare? As most teams are probably going to be traveling first thing tomorrow morning, and then you probably arrive in Dayton late afternoon to evening. So some teams get 1 day to prepare, some teams get 2 to prepare because they do have the first 40 on Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's be real, you got to prepare for 2 teams pretty much while you're in Dayton because you very well got a short turnaround as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because you do really have a short turnaround. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Man,
Got some more interesting
NC
lines out there
State.
for any betters out there. Yeah, Hawaii, a 15.5 point dog against Arkansas. Gonzaga, 18.5 point favorite over Kennesaw. Miami, 2.5 over Missouri. Purdue's 23.5 point favorite over Queens. And Utah State, like we brought up, is a 1.5 favorite over Villanova.
That Arkansas line, no pun intended, lines up.
Dang, Florida don't have to travel too far. They headed to Tampa. I am surprised that Florida is the one, just because of that performance against Vandy. Where Vandy beat them by
Oh, I
14.
knew no matter how that Vandy game finished out, they were gonna Prairie View A&M and Lehigh is our final first four matchup, John. They get the win. They get the pleasure of taking on Florida. Then you got 8 seed Clemson, 24-10 on the year out of the ACC. 8 seed taking on number 9 seed Iowa. Hawkeyes come in 21-12 on the year. Interesting 8-9 matchup there, as we always like them. 5 seed Vanderbilt, talking about them Commodores, John. They gave Arkansas fits for a little bit, but they made a hell of a run in the NCAA tournament as they head to Oklahoma City. Vanderbilt heads to Oklahoma City to take on McNeese. Ooh, my boy Azir is back with the boombox, and he's going to be in Oklahoma City, 28 and 5 on the year for the Cowboys from McNeese. Then you got the Cornhuskers, Nebraska, 26 and 4. I believe that record's right. I may have read that wrong. For the Cornhuskers, but they're heading to Oklahoma City Thursday, Saturday. Yeah, 26 and 6. Sorry, on the season for Nebraska, 13 seed from the Sun Belt, the Troy Trojans, 22 and 11 on the year, as they come in a 13 seed. As Troy will be in Oklahoma City Thursday. North Carolina, is in Greenville, South Carolina. Why would they not be? 24 and 8 on the year. 11 seed is going to be the 11th seed is going to be goodness gracious, it's VCU. I didn't think they were ever going to announce it. 27 and 7 on the year. VCU, big win. We talked about it, John. They get the pleasure of going and playing North Carolina on the road. Literally, it's going to be a home game from North Carolina in Greenville.
Yeah, let's be real, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing here? Illinois, also going to be in Greenville. 3 seed, 24 and 8 on the year for the Illini.
Man, playing
Ivy
Penn.
League champ on 14 seed. Penn at 18 and 11 on the year gets the pleasure of going to Greenville, South Carolina to take on Illinois. Interesting. Now here we go, John. Thursday matchup 7-10 in Oklahoma City. 7 seed St. Mary's. 27 and 5 on the year. 7-10 matchup Texas A&M from the SEC comes in 21 and 11. Interesting matchup right there. I like that matchup actually a lot. Houston Cougars, the Cougs, as they like to say down there in Houston. I've heard Andre Ware say it 1,000 times. The Cougs, 28 and 6 on the year, taking on the 2 seed, taking on the 15 seed Idaho Vandals at 21 and 14 on the year, as Idaho comes in as the 15 seed. Good luck to Idaho in that matchup in Oklahoma City against a Houston team. It's probably going to be a little ticked off because they just lost the Big 12 championship. John, let's go take a look, man. Nebraska, not easy. With Troy there, you've got Florida. I think they moved past the first, but then you got an interesting matchup between lengthy, long, athletic Clemson team and an Iowa team that'll just shoot your damn lights out. So, John, the final region has been unveiled as we look at the South region. What's your thoughts on the South region, man, as we're getting ready to go look at it from region and rank them hardest to easiest, and then we'll look at the number 1 seeds and some paths. But what's your thoughts on the South region as a whole, John? You know we got to go back and do it. Who's on upset alert for Stirred in the South?
St. Mary's. Then in the second round, if it does happen, Illinois playing North Carolina in the second round. I like the Illinois team a lot. I like their coaching staff. And to be honest with you, I like their guard play. And I think the way that North Carolina just disappointed a lot of North Carolina faithful by not having that matchup in the semis against Duke and losing to Clemson the way they did. I just think North Carolina is one of the teams right now that is kind of shaky, to be honest with you. So those are my 2 upsets right there. They just announced the first 4 out. The first 4 out are Oklahoma, Auburn, San Diego State, and Indiana. Indiana, they're definitely to be out, in my opinion, on this. Auburn definitely deserve to be out. San Diego State, I can see the case because the Mountain West this year. But, man, I felt the way that Oklahoma was just so hot at the end of the year maybe deserved a shot. So That's very well interesting for Oklahoma fans.
So the last team in was 31-1 Miami of Ohio. They were the last team into the whole damn tournament. And an 11 seed at that. Very interesting, man. All right, so John, let's go look at it. And let's start with the E3, the East region, John. We're looking at number 1 seed, okay? You got Duke, Siena, and then an 8-9 matchup for them would be TCU, Ohio State. What is your confidence level on Duke moving past the second round into the Sweet 16?
Let's do 85%. 85%.
Okay.
I just think, man, I think they can somehow. Man, I just don't. Yeah, 85%. I just think TCU can give them problems inside the paint. But again, the way the Boozer twins or the Boozer boys have been playing as of late, just are dominant on guard play and in post play. I think they could give TCU problems also, but I think TCU can give Duke a game. But Coach Dixon definitely gets the teams ready for March either way somehow.
All right, let's look at Arizona. They got a potential Villanova Utah State matchup.
98.9999999 to go to the Sweet 16.
Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, I get it. All right. So, well, we'll come back into that. All right. Let's keep on going. Number 1s here. Let's go Michigan. As they have a play-in 16 game, but then Georgia, St. Louis. Give me your confidence level on the Wolverines of Michigan and Luxembourg. Let me tell you something. If you didn't know who that guy was from UAB, you damn sure know who he is from Michigan. That kid's incredible, man. He's been incredible the entire time he's been playing basketball. Which, by the way, in case y'all didn't know, has not been very long. Go ahead, John.
93.8% for them to go Sweet 16. Essentially, they can play St. Louis in a second round matchup. St. Louis very well could be a team that could very well score a bunch. But they also can defend you and it can give you some problems and maybe keep the game low scoring. I'm not saying it's going to be like low scoring, like 40 to 30 action, but it could be very well like a 75 to 71 type ball game where they could basically go down to that.
We got Hogs Happy Hour watching right now. They say Mizzou gets St. Louis, Hogs get Portland. Doesn't make sense. I've been waiting. There it is. A&M's team 10 seed is dangerous. Buckyball is different. Hey, you're 1,000% correct. Yeah, man. Missouri got Missouri. And Arkansas, who could have been in Oklahoma City, got Portland. And we're getting ready to talk about the Hogs in just a second. All right, let's look at Florida.
If Florida plays Clemson in that second round, that'd be a fun coaching matchup, first of all, to see. But maybe 95%. I think it all depends on how Clemson's bench produce compared to Florida's depth also on the bench as well.
Okay. All right, John. Speaking of confidence level, I'm pretty sure everyone watching and listening right now, give me your confidence level that Arkansas can make it to the Sweet 16, and then, well, we won't look that far ahead yet. But give me your confidence level, what you think Arkansas can do to make it to the Sweet 16, and then who do you think they will face?
Okay, where's Arkansas at again? Which region? Gosh, I get too many brackets up.
They're out in the West. Arkansas plays Hawaii, 4 seed Arkansas,
Well, that's right.
13
Yeah,
seed
yeah, yeah,
Hawaii,
yeah, yeah.
5-12 Wisconsin and High Point.
All right, I'll answer the Sweet 16 part if they can make it past the Sweet 16. Well, either play our zone or play that Utah Villanova winner, right? If I'm guessing. Or would it be the BYU?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'll play our zone that Sweet 16 matchup if they can make it. But give me 72.5%, man.
So,
I
we
still
talked to
just
Mike DeCourcy recently about
yeah.
Arkansas, and he brought up their some issues defensively that they have. And as a matter of fact, today on the SEC pregame, we heard it be discussed again. Now, to their point, Arkansas came out, played incredible basketball today. Numerous players had great games, and when that happens for Arkansas or any John Calipari team, you're in trouble. It's just all there is to it. Conference Crunch, 4 Star Sports Media. We've been live for what feels like 2 hours now. It had been 2 hours. We're talking NCAA men's NCAA bracket reveal watch along. We just did a full watch along, and now we're talking over the bracket. We're not too far away from wrapping the show up. But John, now that the bracket's been unveiled, I have to ask, how do you think the committee did?
All right. To your point, I think Michigan got the toughest draw in the Midwest. The easiest one. It's probably the West Coast one with Arizona. So those are my two. I mean, I do love that East region. I definitely think they got some good teams in that East region. Of course, you got some, like we talked about, some future Hall of Fame coaches in that East region with Izzo, with Shire, with Bill Self. But, man, like you said, a Bill Self, Rick Pitino matchup in the second round. Did I have that on my bingo card if you're playing bingo? Then, of course, the
It's a
South
really good
region.
idea. Oh, that's a great idea. Go ahead. Sorry.
And then in the South region, does if Vanderbilt and Florida match up somehow, man, another guard matchup that you're going to see as well. That very well maybe could happen.
Speaking of Florida, I think they have the easiest path. The best team in their setup, I mean, in a Sweet 16, would be Nebraska. But Nebraska's got to get through Troy and then potentially a Vanderbilt or McNeese to even get to potentially Florida. Houston, tough run for Houston in the bottom of the South. Iowa State, tough run. Got to get through Kentucky or even either Santa Clara. Oh, by the way, and there's Tennessee State and Tennessee up there, plus Virginia. Michigan, though, I'm pissed if I'm Dusty May right now.
Right.
I am pissed. Georgia, St. Louis, Alabama, Texas Tech. I mean, if there's one thing we know about a Nate Oates team, is they're going to shoot the three. And it's another thing we've learned. If they're making it, you're in trouble, buddy. Because they'll shoot your ass right out of that gym. They don't care if the shot's dropping, you're in deep trouble. No pun intended.
Yeah, that Texas Tech
But
Alabama
John,
game. First
go
of all,
ahead.
that Texas Tech Alabama game, man. Who's going to shoot the most threes and capitalize on the 3-point shot? You can very well see 45 threes combined in that first half, combined between the two teams.
All right, before we go, man, I got 3 hot questions that I want to ask you. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead. What you got?
Okay, question number 1. Does Kentucky not make it out of the first round?
Oh, man. Playing in St. Louis does help them. As we know, Big Blue Nation does travel pretty well. Man, I think they do make it past the first round, but it'll not be pretty at all. I think Santa Clara gives them all they want for 38 minutes. And Kentucky wins by like 7 to 9 points at the end, where they just basically capitalize and just make free throws, and Santa Clara just runs out of gas.
So we know there's always a Cinderella. This season it's been Miami of Ohio. They are an 11 seed in the first 4, taking on SMU. They win that game, they've got a chance to take on Tennessee. With Virginia playing Wright State and the potential of an upset there, could we see Miami of Ohio in the Sweet 16, John?
I'll say absolutely not. No hard feelings, Red Hot Nation, but
Oh, if they
I just
get
don't.
pissed off about that, they're just whatever. Go ahead.
I mean, let's be real, man. Think about it. Is the Miami, Ohio fans, I know they're going to show up in Dayton, but are they going to show up like 2 or 3 days later in that possible game against Tennessee? I mean, that's what makes it so difficult if you're a Miami, Ohio fan, or even Texas fan or whoever. Are you going to show up in Dayton, or are you just going to wait and see what happens in that Dayton game and purchase your ticket for the second round against the next team on your bracket? That's what makes. That's one
That's
reason,
true. That's a
man.
really
Think about it, man. Airfare and everything, man. That's what hurts tickets right now for across the board for anything, really.
All right, final question, John. Which number 1 seed falls first?
Falls first. Might piss off some Duke. No, okay, it's not gonna be Duke. I was gonna say it might piss off some Duke fans, but I won't say Duke, but it's not gonna be Duke. Um, the Florida Gators. I really do think that Clemson or Iowa team very well. I mean, Clemson can score. They can score points. Iowa's a team, the type of team where it very well could be a low scoring game in that one. When you got Vanderbilt in that same part, and a team that Vanderbilt is familiar with because they just beat them by 14 this week in Nashville, you don't want to see Tyler Taylor and company in that Sweet 16 matchup if you're a Florida Gator fan. So I'll say Florida.
Mine was like A and B kind of thing. Mine's Michigan. I just think it's brutal. I don't know that Michigan makes it to the Sweet 16. I mean, generally, if a number 1 loses, it's like what, Sweet 16. I mean, recently we've seen 16s beat 1, but generally it's Sweet 16, Elite 8, something like that. I think it's Michigan. As crazy as that sounds, I mean, it's 2026. Nothing's really crazy anymore. But I think it's Michigan, man. I think it's Michigan. But, John, I appreciate you jumping on with me tonight. Getting ready to jump over to pro wrestling. I'm not going to talk pro wrestling live, but I'm going to watch it live and be over on the X channel where we've been live for the last 55 minutes. By the way, 55 minutes, 55 people watching. Appreciate everyone watching, listening. Appreciate everyone commenting. If you like what you hear, like what you see, let somebody know. Head over to 4star.live now. You can listen to all of our brand new podcasts. We got Nick New on recently, talking all things Memphis Tigers. We're on talking bracket talk tonight. We'll have Jerry Pong, national, what would you call him, John? A national analyst? National bracketologist for sure. It's just like a basketball savant, basically. He just knows a lot about basketball. He was also a All-American at Purdue, in case people didn't know that. But yeah, Jerry Pong be on with us Friday evening to talk basketball. I don't know where Jerry's at. I just know Jerry's at a Thursday, Saturday site. So I'll be figuring that out between now and then. But I'm excited to get him on and talk basketball. I'm gonna have some hard hitting questions. Y'all know me. I'm a big picture guy. John wants to know what you eat for breakfast. I don't care about that. But man, I appreciate you jumping on me. I appreciate everyone coming in and watching as well. And as always, get
Hey,
up.
Wes,
Be
I want to say
kind.
this too. I want to say this as well. Real
Go ahead,
quick.
John.
Enjoy the moment. If you're going to be traveling to these sites, to these players, man, enjoy the moment as well, because it's either going to be some tears of joy or some tears of sadness as well. And if anybody wants to buy tickets for their first or four game or first or second round matchup, look no further than SeatGeek. SeatGeek definitely lets you know in the green of great seats. Yellow are average seats. Red are like, no, they're not that great at all. So if anybody wants to save $20 off of your first purchase of $50 or more, because it definitely will come in handy this week regarding some interesting venues that they have for the NCAA tournament. Just use the code 4Star Sports Media, all caps, and it'll definitely save you $20 off your first purchase of $50 or more.
Yes, sir. And it's not hard to find a $50 ticket to the NCAA tournament. We'll have much more on the bracket, some team specific paths, coaching matchups, and more as we get more into it as the week goes. But appreciate everyone watching, listening, supporting. And as always, get up, be kind, and stay classy.